one of my favorite coaches in college basketball and a friend. And how lucky are we? I asked the guys, I said, just get me Izzo and Mark Few, and I'm good. And Tom Izzo, 30 seasons at Michigan State, 8 Final Four appearances. Okay, I've watched you play 4 times. You defend the three. You don't shoot it particularly well. Okay, I'm just being fair. Your teams always defend. They rebound. They're tough. Like Pitino, you coach your players hard and they respond to it. What about this team? What's the secret sauce about this team that why you like them?
They're connected, and everybody talks about being connected, Colin, but this team is really connected. It's been connected, and, we've kind of put our egos aside and everybody's playing for each other, and that doesn't always happen. We're playing 9-10 guys. We do rebound pretty well. We actually score it pretty well. We shoot free throws well. And yes, you are correct. You did your scouting report. We did not shoot the three very well, but the last 2-3 weeks we've been moving up drastically from the three. And if we can get that down, I think we could really do some damage.
It's funny. A lot of coaches, my buddy Jay Wright, I think there's a lot of coaches that look at NIL and transfer portal and go, get me out of here. And I don't know if Jay did that, but I think, Jay's such a great guy. But you have kind of said hey, this is the world. I can complain or I can adapt. Why have you, with all this fluctuation, why are you still Michigan State? Why are you still good? Why have you adapted so easily?
Well, since you were honest with me about my three-point shooting, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it. I don't like it for a lot of reasons, especially the transfer portal. I think more kids are going to get hurt, but that's another story and another day. But like Jay Wright, like Nick Saban, those guys are friends of mine. They decided to go another way. I'm too dumb and stubborn to do it, I guess. I just figured that I got to get back to the basics. Last year, I was on all kinds of committees. I worried about it. This year, I kind of stuck the coach in my team, and I've been lucky. I got some good players. I got a couple of guys that have really elevated their game. I got one of my former stars, Jason Richardson's son, who has really elevated his game. And when you got a player's son from the past, that either means you're getting old or you survived. Colin, I don't know which one.
It's interesting. Years ago, it's funny about the tournament. Everybody loves Florida. And I said, be very careful. Hot teams, it doesn't translate all the time. You got to be careful. For years and years, everybody always said, you got to have great guard play. Well, what does matter? In your years of doing this, is there one or two things that absolutely translate from regular season to March?
Well, I'm a big football guy. I love football. And I think in football, at the end of the day, all the fancy stuff comes and goes. You still got to be able to block and tackle and not turn the ball over. Well, if you ask me in basketball, you still got to be able to defend and run, and you can't turn the ball over. So there are some things that are similar no matter what sport you're in. Ours is a little different because that damn ball's got to go in the basket sooner or later. And you can run all the best offense. If the final shot doesn't go in, it hurts. But I think what translates, defense carries just like it does in all other sports, whether it's hockey, baseball, basketball, or football. We've been pretty solid. That's why I think we've had a pretty good run. But, getting to the free throw line, I think, matters, and making shots, because in the tournament, you get down to the nitty gritty and people are fouling you. So you got to be able to make free throws, which we can do. Now, the three-point line, we're improving.
Listen, I'm not a scout. I just watched your games, and I'm like, okay, that's not what they do. It's interesting. I was talking to Mark Few Friday, and when I've talked to Mark privately, and I'm like, hey, do you ever steal stuff from coaches? And he's like, oh, God, yes. I take stuff from everybody. When you've been around as long as you've been, do you ever find yourself during the court, you're sitting at home, and all of a sudden you watch a game and you're like, oh, I'm going to steal that. I like that inbounds play. Do you do that?
I'm so dumb. And Mark Few and I are good friends. We're both on these committees that we just went through all this stuff. But I'm so dumb. I not only steal it, but I name it after the team I steal it from. So if I got a Zags play, or if I got a 76ers play or a Lakers play, it's because I stole it from them. So my plays are named after a lot of people or a lot of teams, which means I'm stealing a lot.
Yeah. So listen, I watched the SEC this year, and I said this. I picked Auburn to win it, and I said I think it helps when your conference is good because you get battle tested. You're in close games. Is there I ask everybody this. In fact, I asked Few about this, and he said Houston. Is there a team you've either played or scouted that you've looked at and you think to yourself today, yeah, I'd rather not see them until maybe the Final Four? Who's a team that guys like me won't pay attention to, but you've seen them and you're like, yeah, that team's trouble?
Well, it's interesting. Mark said Houston. Believe it or not, I replaced Kelvin Sampson here as a GA. He used to work for Judd Heathcote many years ago. And I think my teams are tough and pretty good defensively. I think his teams are insane. They're like the 85 or 6 Bears, whatever it was. You know, they're a phenomenal defensive team. They got toughness. What he's done is he's added the 3-point shot, and now they're a better shooting team. So I'd have to agree with Mark. They're one of. But I saw Auburn in person in Hawaii. We didn't play them, but I saw them. They were impressive. Florida's been impressive as of late. I still think the Alabamas, but I played against them last year. I think Tennessee still brings those intangibles.
Yeah.
They have toughness. They're well coached. Rick is a great coach, and they're really, really good defensively.
Tom,
so that was a politician's answer. I gave you a bunch of them.
By the way, I see right behind you have lunch, so you look fantastic for your age. What do you have back there? Vegetables, a kale salad? What are you having for lunch?
It's a salad, man. You got good eyes. Your scouting reports are pretty good. You got that. We can't shoot threes, and I eat salad for lunch. This is a hell of a deal, man.
Tom Izzo, the great Tom Izzo. Good luck, Coach. Thanks for coming on The Herd.
Thanks, Colin. See you, buddy.